Hello. Hello, hello.
Here we go.
Okay, so hey, Steve. So the first question, do you want to just go down, read all of them? You want all of them? Should we do
Yeah,
all
I
of them?
mean, let's just start going and then we'll kind of feel it out, see how we go.
Okay. So what's your story? In other words, how did you fall into the rabbit hole of needing the transform yourself physically, emotionally, or so you can either once again or first time find so what's your why? What's your story?
My story, long story. Anyway, basically, I lost my dad 14 years ago, the day before my 38th birthday, and I mean, he was my rock. He was everything to me. He had gotten, I could step back a little bit, but basically, a year and a half before that date, he developed cancer. He had throat cancer. And about 2 months before that date, I had suffered. I was a gym rat for many years, and so I was always into working out and stuff like that. But I never really got the results. I was kind of like the big man on campus in the gym. Everybody knew me. I'd go there and be like, I'd be there for 2 hours. I wouldn't get anything done. I'd be chit chatting with everybody. So it's crazy. So fast forward, and then what happened was I was one day in the gym and I was lifting a lot of weight and I suffered an injury, basically doing leg presses, and I thought I had an aneurysm. I blacked out in the gym, and I never worked out in the gym again. So let's put it that way. So fast forward 2 months, my dad, we find out he's got cancer. He's got this thing kind of like laryngitis. He finally goes to the doctor after a couple of months. You find out he's got cancer. So we always thought it was an early stage cancer. We really didn't know for sure. I don't think the doctors knew, but they dealing with the going to the doctors and the chemo and all that. So, and a year and a half later, he lost his life. He lost his battle with cancer. And it was I during the whole process, I kind of think back now, I was really at the time trying to be strong for my mom and my sister. I mean, we knew inevitably, I think at some point in time during his battle, that he wasn't going to survive. So we knew the day was going to come. We just didn't really know when. And it was the day before my birthday, unfortunately. Not a great day, but it is what it is. And then whatchamacallit? So after that, I checked out. Honestly, I really kind of gave up. I gave up on being serious about taking care of my health and fitness. I wasn't going to the gym, first of all, because I had that injury and I was dealing with all that. And then I was in my third year of law school, so I was wrapping up I had a fourth year of law school. Almost decided not to even finish law school because of this, because of him passing. I was like, I'm done. I'm like, why now? Why this? And I'm lucky I had some really close friends that I was, my success partners, I'll call them, in law school, that really got me through and helped me through my final year of law school. So, I'm sure he's looking down upon me today thinking, I'm glad you did that and you got that done. And it's, so I have a law degree. Don't practice, but I do have it. And then, I honestly really just kind of gave up. I mean, I would go out, I'd be drinking on the weekends with my buddies. I was pretty much eating whatever I wanted. I didn't really care. I mean, just a lot of junk food, and just very destructive. I was in a very dark place. I don't know if I'd call it depression per se, like maybe what we consider depression today. Maybe I was, maybe my own little way. I was just cornering myself off from the world, but I was always social. I was always with my friends. I was always doing that, but I never really thought about it that much until one day I was 43 years old, and I looked in the mirror and I go, who the hell is that person looking back at me? I was like, it freaked me out because I was like, my head was like twice as big as it is now. Like seriously, I was close to 400 pounds. So I was really not in a good place. Physically, emotionally, I was, I would already, 6 years. So it took 6 years for me to go from where I was when he passed away to almost 400 pounds. It took 6 years, and just constantly just being destructive. And then I had my mom in my ear just saying, Steve, I'm really worried about you. You need to take care of yourself. I'm worried you're going to have a heart attack. And that whole scenario. And it was sort of a wake up call, and just really hard reality to say. I was my dad's age when he had his first heart attack. He was 43 and I'm 43. So it was like deja vu. And I was like, I can barely walk up a flight of stairs right now and I'm out of breath and I'm sweating all the time. It's ridiculous. It wasn't good. So that's when I decided. I was like, well, I don't want to go to the gym. I'm not in the mood. So I actually, just like a lot of other people, I saw the P90X on TV, and I bought it. And the funny thing is when I bought it, I got it and it sat on a shelf for 2 months. I put it aside. I wasn't ready. As crazy as that sounds, as really where I was, I should have started that thing months before that or years before that, knowing what I know today. But honestly, it was, and that's why I started. I started to really, when my dad died, I made a promise to him that I would take care of my mom, that I would, and he told me, he said, and it is going to be kind of a funny thing, but maybe not. He said, if you don't, I'm going to come back to haunt you. And it freaked me out. I was like, are you serious? What do you mean you come back to haunt me? So I felt like I was letting him down by not taking care of myself so I can help take care of her. And that's kind of why I started what I did. I started it really more for me, to benefit me, being selfish. I didn't know anything. I didn't know what coaching was, whatever it was at the time, but it was really to benefit physically. It was physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Me. I needed to get myself right. I needed to find out who I was. I needed to get my confidence back again.
Right.
That's why I did it. That's why I got started.
So what's your theme of your story? Have you been representing your passion? And have you experienced, whether you discussed the health issues already, but and you discussed, how about financially? Any, like, question 2 here, we've got, have your relationships failed to feel like you really want?
It's kind of, that's an interesting question. I've used my story in the past, but probably not in the way that I should be using it or I want to be using it. I've shared it, not enough. In regards to relationships, they could be better. I think I'm guarded in a way, because I still see the big guy sometimes in the mirror. And the toughest part for me is getting past that stigma of, oh my God, I could easily let myself go and I know I could be 400 pounds again tomorrow. And it scares me to death. And that's one of the main reasons why I continue. I'm not perfect. I have good days and bad days like everybody else. Just because I've had a transformation and I've had a significant amount of weight loss, I'm on the yo-yo. I'm on the train just like everybody else, but in regards to my relationships, it's been tough. I'll say that I'm guarded in a lot of ways. In regards to business and the relationships, I'm pretty, it's kind of funny about that. I'm open. I'm open about the business side. I pretty much open and share it. I know how to, I believe, and I think I know how to share it. But in regards to personal relationships, I'm guarded in a lot of ways. I have opened up before, but I've been hurt, so it's kind of hard. So it kind of throws up the wall, and I'm guarded in that way. But there's things about my past that I haven't shared. I've never shared, and I need to share. And I know this internally, but it's just right time, the right place, I guess. It's just
Right.
That's what I'm here, and it's what I'm here to learn and grow and figure that out, and and be an open book, I guess. But how far? I don't.
So what's your identification factors in your challenges? You talked a little bit about that. And how can you use your problems or your factors as you emotionally connect with new potential team members?
Um. Hmm. Hmm. Well, the challenges, obviously, I discussed some of the health challenges. For me, it's, I honestly believe that if we take care of our health, it's preventative. It's not reactive. And for me, that's what I want to get across to my challengers, my coaches. It's about doing the steps every day. It doesn't have to be significant. It could be 10 minutes a day, whatever it is. But the point is, it's about being preventative in prolonging your health. It's not about, what we got are amazing products. I could be an amazing coach. I know from experience, and that's what I do. But honestly, it's about, wow, tough question. It's about taking the step. It's about not walking out on yourself. It's not giving up. It's not yeah, it's going to be a tough road. It's not going to be easy, but it's worth it. The effort is worth it. It's preventing diseases, preventing, you can't prevent the inevitable. Don't get me wrong. We're all going to go to that happy land, a happy place in the sky someday. But while we are here and living here, we can live healthy lives and not, deal with the stresses and the anxieties. Life is tough, and we all know all this stuff. But the point is if we give up on ourselves, we don't have anything.
Right.
We don't care about ourselves. We don't care. How are we going to respect ourselves and care? If we don't respect or care about ourselves, we can't respect or care about anybody else.
Agreed.
And that's what I try to talk to my coaches about and my people about, my friends, my family, at the end of the day. But, some people are against it, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of how I see it.
Well, it's kind of, you talked a little bit about this, number 5. What's your why for becoming a coach? Why did you become a coach? Because, and everybody who becomes a coach needs to feel a genuine sense of purpose. So why are you wanting to help other people? And why it's without the why, it's indefinitely more difficult to truly reach the top of the Beachbody Mountain. So getting in touch with and fully connecting with your why will become your daily fuel for continually putting out the new content. For instance, your why might be to retire, etc. So why are you Beachbody coach?
Interesting. Like I said in the beginning, is my original intent in this was never to be a coach. It was more about me get my health and fitness straight and everything. But what I found was something that was just so much bigger than I am. Because I was a gym rat, and how, I'm getting results, but not getting results at the gym. And I'm thinking to myself, can I really, even when I first started, the reason why I sat for 2 months was I didn't think I could get results at home from products, from working out at home. I mean, when I started, Shakeology didn't exist. and sent. A lot of these more advanced programs that we have today were not even out there. We had P90X. We had Slim and Six. We barely had a back office for coaching. I mean, seriously, we didn't have much of anything. So for me, it's more about why I decided to do coaching was to make it not. I mean, it's not just to make a difference. It's really to show people that they need to take care of themselves. They really need to make themselves a priority. I listened to something today, and it was from I think it was Darren Hardy. It was his Darren Daily today. And I listened to his daily, and today it was so apropos. It was about, if you want to be successful in business, the successful leaders are selfish. Not in a bad way, but they're selfish about them and their business. That's the priority at the end of the day. And honestly, why I did coaching was I want to be selfish in that I want to help. I truly want to change people's lives. I really want to show them that they do have the power. We have the power within ourselves to change our lives. Beachbody, P90A, Insanity, Shakeology is just the tool. It really is just the tool. Steve, has the power to help people to change their lives because I'm there to support them. I'm there to show them that they can do it because I did it. I paved the way. I'm an example. I'm a walking billboard for the products. Become a product of the product. Becoming a product of the product is showing that it works. If it works on me, nothing here, me, lonely on me. If it can work on me, Steve, it can work on anybody. It could work on Tina. It could work on Cheryl. It could work on Jesse. It could work on President Trump, whatever. The point is the coaching is more about showing people that they have the power to do this. Not so much as whether it's coaching for them or not. It's the power that they can take control of their lives. Anybody, the drug addict on the street, the prostitute, the this, the that, whatever it was. I was a gambler. I had a big problem. When I lived in California, after my dad died, one of my things was, and this is the first time I'm ever even talking about this. I can't even believe I'm talking about this right now. I had developed a problem in gambling, playing cards, blackjack, and all this. And in California, they have these like little casinos, like Indian Reservation, and you can go to these things. So I had an addiction. I had a serious addiction to it. And in kind of a way, I was kind of like chasing my dad because my dad would play the horses on the weekends. I mean, I remember as a kid, I've been to all the big tracks and all the racetracks, fun stuff. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I had a big problem. And part of this doing coaching was to get that confidence back. That I don't need that. I can do this. And I can really, truly show people that they need to make themselves a priority. And it's not about being, yes, it's about being selfish, don't get me wrong, but it's more about being selfish for themselves so they can be a better person for their families, their lives, their wives, their kids, whatever it is. It doesn't matter who it is. They can do it. We have the power within ourselves to change our lives. The key is we got to take the step. We got to make that first step. We got to be willing to take that first step to say, I am important to me and I can do it. And that's one of the reasons why I got into coaching was to be able to show people that. Have I done a good job of that? I don't think so. I could definitely do a better job. I could definitely get that message out there. And that's going to be part of the new plan amongst a few other things. But that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Being vulnerable and doing all this stuff is great, but the point is, coaching is about coaching. What does a coach do? What did Coach Wooden do? Coach Wooden went out of his way to show his players that they have the power within them to win games, to be on that court, to play basketball. They had the power within themselves to do it. That's what he did. That's why he's one of the greatest coaches that ever lived, because he knew how to get inside these kids' heads to make them believe that they could do this. That's all he did. That's what coaching is about. It's not about the Success Club. It's not about going on the trips. That's all hunky-dory and that's all great. And I've been there and done it. But it's not about that. It's about truly changing people's lives. The key, somebody once told me is that, Steve, you want to leave this world a better place than when you came into it. And this is going to, I want this to be my legacy. I want this to be what I want to do.
So describe the opportunities that being a Beachbody coach have produced in your life that you would have never had a chance to otherwise experience. This is about revealing how your life has changed since joining Beachbody. And if you're not new, but yeah. So
what has it done for me? I mean, like I said, outside of been on a cruise and been to Cancun, Mexico on a trip and been on stage at Coach Summit and stuff like that. What it's really done for me is to show that I could be a coach. I could be a teacher. I could really inspire and motivate others to show them that they can make a difference in their lives. What is it? What else has it done? It saved my life. Honestly, I was at death's door. I was probably, who knows? I was probably this close to falling over from a heart attack one day. So honestly, I don't even want to think about it, but I know I pictured that guy. I have pictures that I see that guy with that face that's like a pumpkin. It was just awful. It wasn't a good feeling. The neck with the top like this, and I couldn't breathe. It was awful. It was really that bad. So it's done many things for me. It's got me out of my shell. I probably done more public speaking being a coach than I have ever in my life. I did a little bit of, when I was in college, we had to take speech classes. So as part of our program, counting program, believe it or not, you had to take speech classes. So as part of the program, you had to take, oral communications. They called it oral communication. But so that was kind of different because you were videotaped and you were watched, and that's great and all. But I remember the first time I was asked to tell my story. And I was at a fit club, and he's a lead coach here in Charlotte, but he asked me after he comes up to me during the fit club and he goes, "Steve, can you do me a favor and tell your story after class?" Sure, I've never done it before, but all right, no problem. And we're amongst friends, so to speak, but there was probably like 20, 30 people there, believe it or not. So I was like, okay. So I started telling my story, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea." He never heard my story before. I've never told it before. And I was very short. I was really short and brief about it. And that was still like 15 minutes. That was crazy. But he asked me after that, he says, "Would you be willing to speak at an event coming up? I have an event I'm going to host here in Charlotte. We got corporate coming in, and we're going to have about 100, maybe 50 to 100 people there come in, and we're going to do like training for a day. I'm going to have a workout and all that." This was like a super Saturday. I didn't know anything about it, but yeah, sure, whatever, cool. I get there, it's like 350 people, like some top coaches are in the audience that I know through, because I've been a coach for a while now, and I've heard the names, and I've seen them on Facebook and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay. and I got up there, did my story, did my thing, 5 minutes and stuff, and everybody was like stunned. They were like, "How did you do that? How did you get those changes? How did you do it?" And I was like, "It's using the same products that you do," and the fact it just gave me confidence to be able to stand up here today. I was nervous as heck, but it gave me confidence to be able to continue. The key is that's what coaching's about. It's about that. It's about showing people that they can do this. They have the confidence. And the way they do it is they start seeing the weight loss. They start seeing the changes. They start seeing that. And they go, "Oh, this stuff really works." And then you get inspired and motivated, and you want to help others. And that's what I do. That's what this is about. It's the movement is about showing people they can do this. Coaching is it's definitely changed who I am.
Awesome.
In a lot of ways.
So, okay, describe your ideal team member and what does their Beachbody journey look like to you? In other words, where do you fit into helping them accomplish their goals?
It's interesting. The current coaches that I have, it's kind of interesting, eclectic group. The local coach that I have here, she's one local coach here. She's very fit. She teaches insanity at the gym, and she's an instructor and all that stuff. She doesn't really do coaching in the Beachbody coaching world. She actually went and studied. She's a teacher. She does this stuff, and so she gets the business, but she's not really building coaching, which is fine. That's fine. She does it. She got a husband. She does all that. I let her build the way she wants to do it, right? Well, just like anybody else. Another coach here, she works in retail, and she's also a health and fitness buff, loves it and everything. Thought she was going to be in it, and just, she also runs a massage business, so she's got that going. Great. Oh, hunky-dory. I got other coaches. I got another coach, a friend of mine, old friend I met through Facebook that I signed up. She's out of New York. And she did it. She's kind of a coach, but she's more for her. She doesn't believe I'm kind of working with her. She doesn't believe she can coach others. And she has an interesting story, an amazing story. Overcame alcohol addiction big time. And she hit rock bottom, and but I've worked with her, and she's lost 25 pounds so far. Feels great. My vision of my ideal client is, I'm a business professional by day. I work a regular job, and in the corporate world, I feel a lot, and I see a lot, including my current supervisor. He's great, he's young, but they lose themselves in the job. I've been there. I've lost myself in the job before, where I've gone through periods where I just check out. I'm not working out. I'm working crazy hours. I'm doing this. I got to get this deadline done, get that deadline done. The problem with that concept is that deadline is going to kill you one day. Literally, it's going to kill you one day, because one day you're just going to fall over from a heart attack or stress or anxiety, because you're going running 100 miles an hour. You ain't taking care of yourself. So my ideal client is that person, is that corporate. It could be a male or female. I'm thinking 30 to 45, maybe 50, just really has lost themselves in their job and is so busy it doesn't take themselves seriously, in the sense of they take care of others before they take care of themselves. And I see that person as my client, so to show them that they're important. They're more important. They'll be a better person to take care of others if they take care of themselves first, because sooner or later they're not going to be there to take care of others, and that's going to be the problem. And that's kind of where I see. I'm in that world. I've been in that world for a long time, and I see that. And that's kind of where I'm at.
Right. How do you feel equipped to help new team members reach their goals?
I feel very equipped just because I'm experienced. I've been through it. I've traveled the journey. I'm on the journey. I mean, I've been down the road. I'm on the road right now. I'm with them. I'm alongside them. I'm there with them every step of the way. So, I know the tools backwards and forwards. I know what works and what doesn't work. I'm there as I'll call it your drill sergeant, there to kick them when they're down or pick them up when they're doing great. And I'm there through good times and bad times. I'm not going to just say, and if you check out, everyone checks out, we all do. But I think at some level, I'm there to poke at them every once in a while and say, hey, don't forget about you, and kind of, reel them in a little bit.
That's a good point. Good point. What is your defining factor for why people should work with you over other Beachbody coaches?
It's not about business. It's about you. I'm here about I'm here to support you and help you be a better you. Whether that's physically, financially, both, spiritual, whatever it is, I'm here as your friend. I'm not here as a business partner. We can make it a business partner relationship. That's fine. That comes with the territory. But first things first, I'm here as your friend. I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm going to be honest with you. And that's it. I'm going to be blunt with you. I'm going to tell you, here it is. And you can be blunt with me. That's fine. I ain't perfect. We're on this journey together. I always say we're better together. That's what it is.
What obstacles did you have to overcome?
Well, age. I think that's a big factor. Being age, wear, tear of the body. I've had surgeries in my life. I've had 4 hip operations, knee surgery when I was younger, probably scar tissue, my own head thinking that I can do the things I was when I was 20, and I'm not. I'm 52 for crying out. I mean, I still think I can do it like I'm 20 and I'm 52. And some of the guys, like when we used to run Fit Club, I'd be like, "How do you jump that high, Steve?" I'm like, "Because I've done it for a while."
You can do that.
We're already 20. I'm like, yeah. What does that tell you? So it's that it's getting out of your own head, thinking you're better than you are when you really aren't. And every day I'm humbled at the fact that just getting out of bed sometimes, honestly, is a chore. It can be tough, because aches and pains and this and that and all that are all hunky-dory. But I'm grateful every day that he allows me to get out of bed and do my workout and be healthy and do what I need to do every day. And that's where it's at.
What were the most difficult things you faced? Some of the most difficult things you faced?
I think part of it is, I think we all face this as a coach, is I don't know if it's necessarily judgment from others, but it's judgment from others is one thing. But I think more of it is like, you've been doing this thing for so long. Why are you doing this now? What is it about this thing you're doing? And other people don't understand it. And part of it is, I think it's difficulties is my own self judgment of myself, thinking I'm not good enough, thinking I'm too old, thinking who am I to tell somebody else how to be healthy and fit when I ain't the perfect healthy and fit person in the world. Right. Exactly. I still think about that today, and that's the hardest part is, who am I to offer advice when I ain't there? At least, or quote unquote, I guess what society thinks you should be there. I should have the 6-pack abs. Not necessarily, no. But you know what? People outside of our world believe that because society has forced that on them in the magazines, in the movies, in this and that. There are only 1% of the population has 6-pack abs. Seriously, there's not that many. When you figure it all out, it's just, we're not there. It's just in the society. But the thing is it's the own self-judgment. I think it's thinking I'm not good enough.
Right.
And that's been hard. That's been probably, and of late, especially of late, that's part of the stress or anxiety, is always thinking I'm not good enough. And I'm like, why? I am good enough. I've been doing this for so long. Hell crap, I'm a 1-star diamond. I was a 1-star diamond. I know this, and I sit there and I think, why am I thinking I'm not good enough? What is it about me that I'm struggling with that I'm thinking I'm not good enough? And that's what I battle with. That's the thing I'm battling with, is getting past this. is, despite what everybody says, oh, you are good enough, Steve, blah, blah, blah. We know you can do this and everything. It's here. It's the self-talk. It's like, I think part of it is because of, in the corporate world, you always have this level of, I got to report to the supervisor. And the fact is, that mere fact of having to do that, you're always second guessing. Was it good enough? Was this good enough? Was this? I'm always, even today, I'm sitting there. Was that good enough? Was that file good enough that I worked on for you? And I'm always constantly doing that, and that is what triggers me thinking I'm not good enough. Because if I don't get the feedback I want from him, I didn't do a good job. Blah 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 blah, and it starts that spiral effect, and that's the problem. That's where I think. It was mind blowing. Like, you just asked that question. I'm like, that's an interesting question, because that's where I struggle. I struggle with believing I'm not good enough, and why I don't know. I know I can do this. I'm not saying I can't. It's just, I think the nature of how the world has changed and social media has really changed the playing field on all of us here. And I'm like, okay, now what?
Right.
So that's from
So, okay. So, when was the first moment when someone gave you a compliment or acknowledged your transformation? The first time someone gave you a compliment or acknowledged your transformation?
Ooh. I got to think about this one. I'd probably say it was that day when they asked me to tell my story, because I think he probably saw something in me that I probably didn't see in myself. Not that I can get up and speak in front of people, but he saw that something was going on. Like, he could see it. He never said anything to me about it. I never asked him about it. I ought to ask him about it one day. He's local, but that's my thought. I think that's one point in time. There's been various things, people might say, hey, we noticed you look like you're getting thinner. And I honestly, to me, and I've done this too, where I say, hey, you look really great, and you look like you lost some weight, and this and that and everything. And then you go like this, and you're like, where? So it's hard. We all want it. It's here. We all want it in certain places, and it just quite doesn't happen that way. Like, here, there, But I think for me, as a guy, it always happens in here. I can tell myself, like, when I look in the mirror and I go, dude, you're losing some weight, because you see it. But that's not the first time. People have said before, and I just had it the other day. I'm in a group, and I'm posting every day, and the girl goes, the woman who's part of the group, she's a friend of mine too, coach here in South Carolina. She goes, you look really great, Steve. I'm like, thank you. Sometimes I feel great, sometimes I don't. But I have been feeling pretty good, lately. But, the point is she noticed it. And I don't necessarily notice it myself, because I'm not exactly where I want to be.
Right.
Physically or something. It's not so much the number on the scale. It's just other things. I'm like, things are happening. Like, I'll notice it because my pants are getting bigger on me, and that's happening. So something's working. I'm just kind of continuing the process, but that's kind of how I notice it myself. But I honestly believe when he asked me that time, he asked me not to speak. I'm saying he noticed something was going on. Why would he have me speak? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But then I was also, I've been in a video. Nobody really knows about this, but I am in a Beachbody video.
Okay.
I am in the I'm a Coach video. There's a video that they created years ago, and they use it as a promo for being a coach. And we were in there doing the kind of like I'm a Coach, the little P90X thing. And then I was in that. One day I just happened to see it after I was doing Body Beast one day, and I happened to watch the after promos, and I looked and I go, hey, that's me there. That's that video. That's that little clip, that picture we took that day. That video we did. I'm like, holy smokes, I actually did it. So not the kind of video I want to be in a workout video one day,
Right.
someday. But it's probably kind of cool because I'm like, yeah, I did. I'm in a video. I could say I've been in a video.
You can. Okay, so here's a good one. What pisses you off?
About Beachbody?
Just what pisses you off?
Um,
Take it how you want it.
I guess it kind of pisses me off a little bit that some of these young kids are coming in thinking they could just do this thing, and some have. Don't get me wrong, because they 2 years, bam, bam, 15-star diamonds and all that. But I laugh at it a little bit sometimes because it pisses me off at first because I'm like, are you serious? 2 years? Come on. I've been in this thing for 8 years and I ain't done jack. I blame that on me. It's me. I'm the culprit of that. But at the same time, I kind of sit there and I laugh and I go, okay, they've had some success. Wait till the tough times hit. Let's see what they can do. Let's see how fast they're going to be running to the other business. Leaving, quitting. I'm done. I'm out of here. And the thing that pisses me off is that a lot of these people come in and they're not serious. They're not. They say things or they say, I'm here for this. And then you find out it's completely something else. And I'm sure there's things been said about me in the past that I don't know. I couldn't say if it has or hasn't. I don't know this for sure, for true proof. I don't have any proof of anything. But it pisses me off that these kids think that they can just rule the world and do this stuff. And I'm like, and they have no care in the world for the guys who have been there the long time. Like, I look at Tommy Migrant because he was like my idol when I first started. I saw him in the videos and that's how I got started. He's still a coach, but I mean, there's things about him today that I don't know. I don't know. I've heard some things that his business is pretty much dang, done, whatever. But I'm sitting here going, dude, you're Tommy Migrant. Come on. Why did you get here? You want to know what's going to take? Why did you get started? Why did you get started? Why did you start the first time? Why did you start the second time? Why did you do this? That's where you need to get back to. You need to get back to the roots of why. Why is it you truly, not just, I want to help people and I want to make money and blah, blah, blah. It's not, that comes with it. But truly, why? Why did you do it? You did it because you were overweight. You weren't feeling good. You were tired. You were young. And you needed to do this for you. But why did you do coaching? Because you knew you could make a difference in people's lives. Who you were. Why did you do that? That's why I do it. I do it because I want to make a difference in people's lives. It pisses me off that a lot of these, I think Beachbody has gotten away from the why. I think they've really gotten away from, they've made it all about Success Club. They made it all about going to the cruise. They made it getting on the elite club, making it into this, making it into that. Why? Even the top coaches, I wonder if they even realize what their why is anymore. I just don't know the answer. I don't talk to them, so I don't know. But why? Why are we here? Why did you get involved with this business? Or did the money go to your head and then you've lost this? It pisses me off that these people just make it nonchalant and walk away like it's no big deal. You're dealing with people's lives. What about all the people that you brought in, that you've coached and you brought them into this thing, and now all of a sudden, gone. The rug is gone. Bye-bye. Let me tell you something. A wise woman, and she's a coach. She's a founding coach. She told me, she says, Steve, in this business, you got to be authentic. You got to be who you are. Not who I am, not who Carl is. None of that matters. And she turned Carl down 5 times or 6 times. Tracy, my friend, Tracy Morrow, she is mother hen of Beachbody. And let me tell you something, very shrewd businesswoman. And I get it. I used to run her groups. I used to help her run her trainings and Las Vegas, all the stuff at the different events. I mean, honestly, that's when I look at coaching, that's who I look at. She's a leader. She builds her team. She builds her people up. Yeah, you may want to say, well, she was a founder and this and that and everything. At the end of the day, that's what got me into this. That's what kept me here. Because I've talked to her one-on-one, privately. I've talked to her about stuff. And I'm like, what does it take? How do you get here? What is this all about? She got me to go to my first Coach Summit. I didn't even know what Coach Summit was. I was going before my team was going, before they ever even went, before my upline coach was ever even there. And that's how I learned it from her. And the one thing I learned about this is you got to be authentically you, whatever that is. But you know what? At the end of the day, whether you stay here or you leave here, depends on your authenticity. If you're authentic, you're going to be here for life. That's just how I believe it. Unless the powers that be want to shut Beachbody up, okay? That's different, okay? So that's a whole different perspective. But at the end of the day, if you want to be in this, you got to be authentic in everything you do in life. The thing is you got to be authentic whether you're in the light or not in the light. If you're in front of people or behind the camera, you got to be you all the time. You can't be the character over here and Steve over here. I can't do that. I got to be Steve everywhere. Whether I'm Carl, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I got to be authentically me, whether I'm on Facebook, whether I'm on Pinterest, whether I'm talking to Tina, whether I'm talking to whoever it is, whether I'm talking to my boss, whatever it is, I got to be who I am. And that's my character. That's what it is. That's growth. That's me. If I can't be me, I don't need to be in this business. That's how I look at it. That's how I view it. Honestly, I may be old school. Maybe the punk 30-year-olds don't see it that way. The millennials just don't see it that way. They really don't. They don't get it. They don't get it. I'm sitting here going, who the hell? Who do you think you are? You wanted the world, and you haven't done jack squat to get there. Gary V. I follow Gary V because he tells you he's about the hustle. Don't get me wrong. Hustle's great and everything. But you know what? At the end of the day is you got to put in the time to get there. People don't realize the time that guy put in for 20 years to get to where he is today. Everybody says, oh, he's a new guy. No, he's been working his butt off for 20-something years. Are you kidding me? Do you have any idea what the hell he's been doing? And that's why he does what he does. And but he's authentic. You may like him or not. He's authentic, and that's what that's about. We all got to be authentic in who we are every day. And that's what people are either going to like you or not. And if you're authentic with them, I would think that they would like you. That's just how I see it. And it pisses me off that these young kids just don't think anything of it.
Agreed. So what keeps you up at night?
Financial stress, honestly. Today, financial stress. Ain't much. By that and thinking about the future and what do I really want it to look like, and keep running in my head is, okay, so what do I got to do to get there? And right now it's more about, okay, I gotta put the action steps into place. I gotta do the work. Yeah, it's gonna be a long road. That's fine. I got a ways to go. That's perfectly fine. I am okay with that. But it's gonna happen. This is gonna be successful because if it's to be, it's up to me. That's kind of how it goes. That's how I am. So my dad always told me, don't trust anyone because they don't do their job. You do it. You have to do the job, Steve. You have to do it. That's just, you work hard because you have to do the job because they won't do it. That's how I grew up.
What accomplishments have you given? What accomplishments have given you a sigh of major relief?
When I got to walk across the stage at Summit, that was a huge accomplishment because I've been going to Coach Summit for a while, and I thought it was more about being recognized for the hard work that I put in for the years or whatever it was till I got there onto that stage. But it was, it was that. It wasn't more about the being the 1-star diamond and all. It was more about, yes, it was confirmation that you can do this. Recognized and acknowledge the fact that, yes, you did this. You built the team. You're doing this. Let's go.
Awesome. Last question. How have you defined your own or others' people's how? Okay, let me reword this. Okay. How have you defined your own or other people's expectations?
I think I'm hard on myself. I'm always looking to see how I can make it better, quicker, faster. That could be a good thing and a bad thing. I think more in my regular day job, it's probably a good thing because I need to streamline processes and things. But how have I? Now say that again real quick.
How have you defined your own or people or other people's expectations?
Ooh, I'm not one. When I first started in being a coach, I think I expected a lot from people. But over the years, I've learned to just, I let go of it. I think I don't expect much because I don't want to put that pressure on myself if being let down. I don't want to put the pressure on them feeling like they have to do this. It's your business. I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you. You got questions. What do I do? How do I do this? That's fine. I'm not here to do it for you. So the point is, if I create unfair expectations for my coaches or my challengers or whatever for that matter, I don't want them to run away and feel like they can't perform to that level. So unfortunately, I think the corporate world, it's a different perspective because there are expectations of me. I got deadlines to meet. I got to do this. I got schedules to do. And part of it is I probably have created some expectations because I've probably done a good job in certain areas. Now it's expected. You could do this. Okay, here you go. So they think you could do it all the time. So I don't necessarily call it taking advantage of. To be honest with you, it's not really taking advantage of. I think it's more of you've created that expectation in your supervisor, in you, so now they expect it all the time. My personal opinion is I like to lay the groundwork first up front before we get started in the relationship. What are your expectations of me? And here are my expectations of you. Or what do you want me to expect from you? What should I expect from you? I ask the questions, what should I expect from you as a coach? What are your expectations of me being your coach? What is it you want? What are you looking for? What kind of relationship do you want? You want a friend relationship, or do you want this to be more of a business relationship? Because I can go either way. So, I don't like to, like I said, I just don't like to lay the expectation card out there too much because I think it can let people down. I don't want to be let down, and I'm sure they don't either. You scare them off. You have unfair expectations, they get scared off. They walk away. That's just plain and simple. Right. That's the reality of it. That's how I see it. So, in a nutshell, don't place unfair expectations on yourself or others. That's the reality of it. I think too many coaches do that.
Well, that's the end of the 16 questions, unless you'd like to add anything else to your interview, Steve.
Honestly, it's not about adding. I think I could have been way more emotional with this, and I know I could have, and that's fine. There's definitely some spots that I can work on.
What personally how does this hit you personally besides just, I'm just going to throw a question out there, besides your health and fitness and your health, and besides your health and going through the motions of being a coach and whatever, how does this really deeply drive you?
For me, I'm about personal growth. I never used to be like that, but I've got a lot of degrees. I mean, I got a bachelor's degree in accounting. I got a law degree. I've got a nutrition degree. I mean, I'm degreed out the wazoo. So it's not about that. I'm overeducated. I'm underpaid. But at the end of the day, it's about personal growth. I'm actually in a program now for personal growth because I feel that the only way my business will grow is if I grow. I got to be a better version of me, not physically. It's personal growth, emotionally, spiritually, and whatever comes with that. I got to be a better steward and I got to be a better teacher. For me, I'm taking John Maxwell's growth program. So that's 15 laws of growth online. I'm doing that program. So it's about that. It's about being a better all-rounded person, business person, what have you. You know, if I want to be able to walk away and do this on a full-time basis, if that's really, that is my big, hairy, audacious goal, we're going to call it. At least right now, that's one of the big goals. I got to become better. And learning all the tools and learning from the master, John Maxwell, learning that stuff constantly in a I don't know, this is like 13 weeks or 18-week program. But learning this stuff, videos and other stuff online, that's what I feel. That's my next level. My next level, in order to be able to have business growth, I gotta be better. I gotta make a better me. I gotta be a better Steve. I've got all the character in the world. Trust me. It's not about that part of it. It's about other things.
Right.
Personal growth. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay.
I think we're done, right? Okay, what I'll do is I'm going to stop this